Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So just outside here in Central Ohio, it's a pretty dreary day. It's starting to get dark, starting to get a little chilly. So we've got some more parts here for the 300, the CRF 300L. Man, why is that? It's just not coming out today. But why don't we head in the garage? I've got an AXP plastic skid plate. We're gonna get hooked up on the machine. So stick around, let's get into the install. Real simple, 4 bolts. Anyone can do it. Let's do it. All right, so first things first, why did I choose the AXP skid plate over all the other ones on the market? First of all, I did not want an aluminum skid plate. I didn't want to deal with the vibration, the rattles, the noise that resonates up from the bottom. You know, there's foam that you can install and things like that, but I didn't want to deal with all that. The AXP skid plate is basically a 1/4 inch thick, 6 millimeters, something like that. So, and it's very heavy duty plastic. If you're gonna break this skid plate, you're probably gonna break your frame anyway. So not too worried about it. Didn't want to deal with aluminum bending and have to bending it back. The plastic, you know, has its own memory. And you know, it's a little bit more expensive than say a Tusk aluminum skid plate. But you know, I think in the long run, I'm gonna be much happier not dealing with the noise, mainly because I do road ride this bike quite a bit. So real quick, we'll just jump in the unboxing, show what we got, and then we'll jump in the install and we'll wrap it up. So let's take a look at the packaging. It's going to come in this bag that you see here, and then it's going to come in a cardboard box, so no big deal. You're going to get a couple different decals. This one will go on the front of the skid plate if you choose to install it. I'll probably put it on just to see what it looks like. The red looks pretty close to the Honda red. As you can see, the skid plate is very well made. It's very rigid, and you know, it's thick. I would say it's about 1/4 inch or so. We'll put a tape on it later just to see for sure. But inside the bag also, you're going to get the hardware. There is another decal on there that looks like it's the same decal that's put on the thumbnail of the video. I don't know which one we'll put on, but we're going to at least try it and take a look and see what it looks like. Inside, you're going to get some instructions. And you know, this is pretty simple. There's 4 bolts in there, 2 longer ones. They're like an M40 and a 25 mil. They're both M6 threads. There is a QR code on this set of instructions, but it was invalid. But I think we can make it work. You're only going to need basically 1 tool for this install. This is a 4mm hex key, I believe. And then I'm going to apply some blue Loctite to both of the they're either 40 or 45 millimeter bolts. These are the longer ones, and they're going to go in the front of the skid plate. On the 2 bolt holes, there's already welded nuts on the front of the frame there. So basically, now we're going to install the stainless steel collars into the slots there. I'm starting on the front of the bike. I'm sure you could start on the back. It doesn't really matter. But so I'm going to go ahead and feed the bolt in through the collar. And then I'm going to try, we're going to say try here, thread this in by hand. But the bolts, they're pretty short, so you got to press the skid plate up in there pretty good to make sure you get some thread engagement. As you can see, my first try didn't go so well, so I'm going to go ahead and put my T-handle on here. And that way I can apply some pressure and make sure I catch those first couple threads there. And then once we get this started, the skid plate's going to hang, and then we'll move over to the other bolt here. Go ahead and put our insert on. I'm going to try to grab it by hand again. And you just need to apply some pressure to get some deflection on the skid plate. So we'll go ahead and get this one hand tight, and then we're going to move to the back of the skid plate and put the 2 bolts in spacers, and then there's some additional plastic spacers that go in as well. Moving on to the back of the skid plate, you can see I've got my stainless steel collar installed on my bolt, a little glob of blue Loctite, and I'm just going to feed the black spacer that comes in the kit over top of the bolt. And then we're going to catch, again, these fasteners or these bolt holes are already on the frame with welded nuts on the back, so you're just threading them in pre-existing. It's like the factory should have put a skid plate on it from the get-go, but they didn't, so here we go putting this one on. But you're going to have to apply some pressure again to the skid plate to get the bolt and everything to line up. It's a pretty snug fit, but it works very well. So now we're going to move over to the other side of the bike and put the last bolt in. And again, I'm just putting these in hand tight, and then I'll work my way around the entire skid plate, get all 4 buttoned up. So the fit on the skid plates, I mean, it's really snug. It's just what you want. So it took a couple tries just to, make sure that I got those first couple threads of engagement. And you got to apply some pressure to the skid plate because the bolt holes in the bolt are kind of on an angle. So you're gonna have to kind of push a little bit on the skid plate to get everything to line up. But after that, it goes right together. So now I'm just going to go ahead and tighten up the 2 bolts in the back. And there wasn't a torque spec that I saw identified in there. Maybe there was, but I just glanced the instructions. But I'm just going to put them on hand tight. You want them snug, but you don't want to go crazy on it and break them off or anything like that. Remember, you do have Loctite on there. So I just tightened them up until I saw the plastic just start to deflect a little bit. And then I called it good. So I'm going to work my way around the front, and we'll button this up real quick. Now we're just moving around to the front of the bike. Same tool here. Again, just snugging it up till the plastic starts to deflect a little bit. I went ahead and installed the AXP decal on the front of the skid plate. And after I walked away and looked at it, I decided I was going to take it off. I like the black look much better. But this is basically wrapping it up. So I'll give you guys a full view of it. We'll check the thickness of it real quick and go from there. So I'm just going to throw a tape on here so we can get an idea how thick this skid plate is. And you can see it's right around 1/4 inch, so probably 6, maybe a little over 6 millimeters in thickness. So it's a heavy duty unit. You're not going to break this. And if you do bend it, it's going to bend right back. Just the muscle memory, or the memory of the material. Not that it's got muscles, but you can see here it's very rigid, very solid, very nice skid plate. One of the big concerns I had when I picked out this skid plate is I wanted to be able to do a service on the machine, access all my drain holes without removing the skid plate, and some of the ones on the market you indeed have to do that. This particular one has all the holes in the right location, so you can do all of your service that you need to do, access your oil filter without removing the skid plate. Alright guys, that's going to wrap this video up. Thanks for watching the install of the AXP Racing skid plate. Very easy install. If you guys would, please hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell for notifications so you stay up to date with everything we have coming up. And we appreciate y'all very much. But until next time guys, God bless.